What a night that was when Vinny was on stage and we were rocking and rolling and doing that whole Last in Line thing. Hey, everybody. Ronald Nesty here with you. Artists on Lockdown, Hanging and Bangin' as we are every Thursday night. Here we are outside of Chicago in St. Charles at the Arcada Theater, home of rock and roll heaven. And I tell you what, we are so excited once again to welcome a couple of great guys, a couple of legends on our show. We've got Frankie Bello from Anthrax, and of course, the great Pat Travers is going to join Carmine a piece with me tonight. Vinny is on the road. Carmine, why don't you come along, say hi to everybody, all the big fans out there. We've got a bunch of people already following us. There he is. Hey. There he is. What's up, brother?
How you doing,
Look at
guys?
you. Hey, we got to say, we're going to start doing, so many people are chiming in, Carmine, and we see them in the comments, and I want to thank them because they're, Emma, let's see, Eddie's with us, Ann is with us, Heidi, every week.
You guys just want to thank you guys. I don't see it. How come
I do. Because maybe
I see Heidi.
There's Heidi, yes. Yeah. Tommy is with us as usual. Jimmy McGregor is with us. So you guys, thanks very much for all the comments and all the support. Tonight is a big night, Carm. We've got, I'm so cool. I've never met Frankie Bello, and I'm just really excited to talk to a big Anthrax fan.
I think I met him once or twice. I don't really know him that well, but you got my other guy's a good friend of mine. We did albums, tours.
I know.
He was at my party. He was at my party last week. He's awesome.
Yeah, no, the legendary freaking Pat, and we've done several shows together also, and I definitely am going to touch on a couple of the albums, a couple of my favorite albums that you guys did tonight.
I hear we might tour with Pat with Cactus.
I talked to Bruce Pilato today, and that might is a for sure. We actually got a date down, so I don't know if I could say it yet. So maybe it's a Bruce thing. So it's definitely going to be. Oh man. Are you kidding? The Pat Travers band with Cactus? Yeah. What the heck is that going to be like? I'm so excited about that. So what do you say we bring the guys to the microphone? Again, since 1984, Frankie Bello's been with Anthrax, with Helmet as well, and he's got a great book out. Oh my gosh! Hopefully we can really delve deep inside those pages. It's going to be very exciting. So let's bring Frankie Bello to the microphone. Frankie, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, hey guys, how are you? Hi, Ron, how are you? What's going on over there?
It's another Italian show over here.
It's got to happen like that. I knew it was going to be very Italian. I feel very comfortable. I just ate some ragu upstairs. I'm very good.
Ragu.
She's just made it. My wife made gnocchi today.
We went to a market here in Florida. This guy was selling homemade gnocchi and pasta. $11 a pound, right?
Worth it. $111 a pound, homemade, worth it.
And this
it was delicious.
Was it? Yeah. Did it taste like the homemade? You know what I mean? Like when it's the first bite, right?
You know it.
Smooth.
You know it's right. You know when it's homemade.
I love it like
smooth. That. It's smooth.
And Frankie, you're another texture. Another one of these guys that I got to deal with every week because I'm from Chicago. The Chicago Italian. But my favorite, I got to say, my favorite Italian place on the planet, pretty much outside of Florence, my mom was born. Is Arthur Avenue in the Bronx, man. So
that's the truth.
That's where you're from?
I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in Throgs Neck in the Bronx over there, but Arthur Avenue is a mainstay. You go over there, the delis alone, just the delis alone is it's insane. And it's still there. The great thing about it is still there. People can come there and come here and just live the life over there. It's still the best.
I'm telling you.
It really is.
You go to Mike's Deli by David over there, and it's over 100 years old. And what they did, it was an outdoor market that they just enclosed, but the concrete's still the same. I mean, you could actually feel like the horse-drawn wagons with the vegetables on there. It's a great place.
Man. You know what it is? Come on, you ever been there before?
I've never been there. No,
dude, you got to go one time in your life because it's so worthwhile. Really, just one time. Because
next time I'm in New York, we'll try.
I'll go. You let me know. I'll go for sure, no doubt. Yeah. But you feel
Where do you live now? Where do you live now?
I live in Westchester. I have a kid in school and all that stuff, so I moved up to Westchester. But I still go down.
We have a place.
You live
Upper West.
Frankie, you live right by, and I'm sure you know this, a guy that has come to be a very close friend of mine. Has been by my house. I've been by his, and he's going to do his show. He does his one-man show of a Bronx tale, Chaz Palminteri.
You know what?
I actually, my first trip into Arthur Avenue, really, It was at the Invite at Chaz. And I'm walking down the street with him. You might as well be walking with Jesus Christ in Bethlehem, to be walking with Chaz Palminteri in the Belmont, Belmont Avenue.
He's
just
the guy.
Incredible.
He's the guy. What's crazy?
The Cannoli King over there, and it's just a fabulous place. It's fabulous.
He is like the king. I met Chaz one time at the Central Avenue Diner here in Westchester. He was surrounded by a bunch of the obvious, just fun friends. I went right up to him. I was such a fan of his. He couldn't have been nicer. It felt like you knew the guy. You felt like you knew the guy forever. Really, what a sweet guy. Talented.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, we'll go to by Jerome over there at Gino's bakery, and I mean all these places. We got to take you, Frankie. We'll contact you. We're gonna grab Carmine.
How do you know? How do you know about this stuff in the Bronx? You're from Chicago.
You understand?
I know things. I know things. I know things.
And I tell you what. Here's when you got to go, Carm. I'll tell you what. So I've been putting on this. I also put on the entertainment for the Hoboken Italian Festival, another whole world over there. But the state weekend, I do. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. Wow. So it's in September. It's the first weekend after Labor Day in September. Now, on that Sunday is called Ferragosto, which is an Italian holiday. And the Ferragosto Festival is in the Bronx, right down Belmont Avenue. One day, they close the street. It's incredible. They got pigs on the spit. They're making the svingy, the dough and the oil. Right on the
everything.
Street.
Yeah,
we're doing it.
I'm in. You guys call me.
Okay.
I'll be there for sure.
I'll come.
Chaz stops by. Other guys from the Bronx Tale stop by. You know who else? Oh my gosh. What's his name? Uncle Junior from The Sopranos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The old guy.
Yeah. Yes, I can't think of it. Dominic Kinesi.
Good.
He's out there with the guitar sitting by the clam house. The whole thing's a freaking movie. It's
definitely. You got to call me for that.
We're gonna do it.
I'll come up from Florida for that one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's worth it, and it's jam packed, and it's fabulous. So, but Frankie, thank you for joining us on our show.
Thanks for having me. I'm loving this.
Can't wait. Like I was telling Carmine, I've been getting into your book and deep in the pages of your book. I'm going to talk about it if that's okay.
Thank you. Of course.
And but before we get into it, legend, icon. You talk Carmine, okay. You got to be talking Pat Travers too, and he's coming right. He's one of your brothers, Carmine. I know that you do so many things together. And I really want to talk about the albums you guys have together because that's some amazing music. So let's bring him to the microphone. Pat Travers. Say
Hey, guys.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, count me in on the food fest up there.
How cool would this be?
I'm
like
so
a rock
there,
and roll
man.
tour.
Yeah.
Get him in on it.
Rock and roll legends. Are you kidding?
We got to get Bruce to get us some gigs in the New York area at that time.
Labor Day weekend.
That would be great.
I'll play bass on anything you guys want to play. I'm in. I promise.
Okay, we got our trio right here. All right. Yeah.
Good to see you, Pat.
Frankie, do you sing?
Yeah, I sing. Yeah.
Okay.
Both. I'm
in. There we got Pat. We got background vocals.
I'm in. Absolutely.
Frankie, can you sing?
Ready to go.
Frank, can you sing That's Amore? That's important.
I have Dino on my right there. Dino's always.
I almost did a session with Bobby Rydell and Ann Margaret Volate.
Oh wow! No kidding. Bobby Rydell.
I would love that. Yeah. That would be beautiful.
And Ann Margaret.
They got Slim Jim Phantom to do it, so now they're going to They're going to give me another song. I said, look, I can play brushes, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Cool. You know what? First of all, you bring up Bobby Rydell. Let's just say it right now. The next couple of weeks, we're doing reruns because of the holidays. But January 6th, Artists on Lockdown, Hanging and Banging, we return, and we will have as our guest Bobby Rydell.
Wow.
Awesome. Hey, I was amazed to see the counter up here, season 2, episode 22. That's amazing. How did all that
5 episodes, Pat.
How did all that time go by?
Most episodes are 13 episodes. Our first episode was 52.
Wow.
Our third season was 52 weeks. Now we're 22 weeks beyond the 52 weeks.
Cool.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
You know what though? Maybe we touched on something because a guy like Pat Travers. Okay, he's got project, and that's one of the things I love about Pat and Carmine. Project after project after project, concept after concept, compilations, collaborations. So that's Amore, My Way. Can we get a rock and roll album of those songs? You're doing Motown. Set Me Free.
We got the trio right here.
I'll play it. Whatever you guys want to do.
We got the trio. Moon over the Bronx.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Set it up. I'm in.
You know what? I'm about only half kidding there. I'm just telling you. I think it would be awesome.
I know. It's
Why
funny.
not, man? Why
my
not?
number.
You think about what you guys do with the Motown, and
You have to change Pat's name, though.
What's that?
You have to change your name to something like Patrick.
Patricio
Travers. Pasquale Travers. I love it.
Trevillo.
Traverso is a place. Traverso is a place in Italy.
Yeah.
Traverso. So
we can make this work.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Hey, you don't have to write the songs; they're already written.
Boy,
no, man, I'll tell
Go
you.
in there, go in and play them. That's easy.
Well, it's the same concept what you guys do. You guys heavy freaking rock and rollers, but you're hitting Motown, you're hitting the R&B. Obviously, Set Me Free. Also, what I thought was really really cool on your Balls album, your extra track there. What I think that was amazing what you guys
Which
did.
track?
extra track.
Never gonna give you up.
The one that you brought to the table.
Never gonna give you up.
The Barry White one.
The Barry White's, the extra track Barry White.
Oh, that, yeah.
What made you go down that road, Pat?
That wasn't.
I was thinking about that the other day, and I was going, that was kind of a weird thing to do, but I always loved that track. I loved that track when I was, about 16 or 17 or something.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
We did one of my originals, and then he said, I want to do this one. I said, okay.
Yeah, Barry White.
Send me up. I did the drums in Long Island. I did the drums on Long Island, and he did it all in where did you do it? In Florida.
I did it at Sean's place in Apopka. Yeah,
I came down and did the video. Remember the video driving around?
My son shot that video. Yeah. That was cool. We just did a thing,
What was that car we were in? You had that car, the old classic car.
Oh, the Riviera. Yeah, 93 Riviera.
Right.
What a great car.
Hell yeah. The ribs?
Finally let that go a couple of years ago, but that was one of the best cars I ever had.
How long was that front end on that Riv, Pat?
It just kept going, of course.
Oh, yeah, I just thought the car looked awesome. It really had, and it was a great car.
It drove kind of futuristic lines.
Yeah.
When it first came out.
Yeah,
the futuristic lines in the front. The original ones had those front lights.
That point at the back on the fastback. Yeah, Rivieras were always cool.
It looked like the speed racer car, like the Mach 5. Right?
What year was that?
They always had, well, mine didn't, but usually you could get like the biggest motor GM offered in a Riviera, 455s and all these big engines.
4-speed.
Yeah. Well, not in a Riv.
Hey, you lost your green screen.
That's a cruiser.
There we go.
Yeah.
Something's going on back there.
Oh, there you go. So that's what's behind you, really, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was going to say nice room.
This
is a green screen, too.
No, that's not. That's the real
That's a green screen also.
We were talking about the Balls album a minute ago, but who came up with the concept or the song, which I love this, Remind Me to Forget About You?
Remind me what?
Remind me to forget you.
To forget Sarcasm. You. Remind me to forget you. Remember that?
We were just throwing around.
Yeah, we were just throwing around
ideas, saying some
lyrics
stuff, nice. She looks.
The other one was.
She looks nice from far, but far from nice.
Is that how you would do it? You guys are just bouncing
from a distance.
You guys would just bounce off of each other? That's how you go back and forth?
Yeah.
This album we actually did all in the same studio.
Wow.
But we sat around and threw the lyrics. What about the Taken? Talking about my iguana and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you guys must have been on something during that. I mean, really.
Yeah. No, that is an interesting album. It sounds
very interesting. Really
sounds very interesting.
And we had T.M. Stevens play bass and sing one of them.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was awesome. It's a shame what's happened to him. It's like Phil Chen from Rod Stewart Band passed away today.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Somebody just sent me a picture. Somebody just sent me a picture of me and him together at one of these bass player things. I feel so bad.
I lost two of my favorite brother bass players this year, Tim Bogert and Phil Chen.
Mm-hmm.
I emailed Tony Frank and I texted Tony. I said, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Because he's my third most favorite bass player.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tony's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a huge shame here,
Yeah, Phil Chen, it's the guy that played with me with Rod. He played on Hot
Sure.
Sexy and You're in My Heart.
Oh, Phil, Jamaican Phil?
Yeah, Jamaican Phil.
Oh, no. Oh, man. He was so awesome. He's
awesome. What a beautiful man.
He played with the Doors when we toured.
That's right. Yeah, remember?
Really?
Wow, I didn't know that.
He was so cool.
Yeah, we did this tour in 2005. It was the Doors of the 21st Century. Phil was playing with him. And you had Ian from the Cult singing.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
we had Vanilla Fudge under them. Then we had Pat and we had the Yardbirds. We were doing sheds that whole summer. It was great.
Wow.
Until John Densmore sued everybody. Stopped it dead. And we even did one of those. Remember those Decades, VH1 Decade shows?
Yeah.
They paid for one of those. They paid a fortune for everybody. And I heard they spent $1 million on that show. And they could never release it because John Densmore wouldn't let him use the name.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the one in
Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a shame that was.
Yeah, it was great. John Sebastian was on that one.
John Sebastian was there.
Yeah.
And he got up and played the
harmonica. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And this was all filmed? That was all filmed and you can't and it was never released?
It was all filmed.
Wow, look at that.
And whoever paid for it, I think VH1 paid for it. So they own it, but they can't ever release it. Not under that title. They could release maybe individual performers like Pat and Vanilla Fudge and all playing, as a show, but they never did.
Oh, well.
That's too bad.
That's terrible. Frankie, we're talking about, loss, and I don't want to go right into the. I know you're in Bello's basement right now, just trying to be safe with everything.
I'm a fly on the wall right now, listening to these guys talk right now. So this is awesome, right? I'm just like fanboy, just watching this.
I know. I'm lucky every week with these guys, but you know what? I'm going to read the name of your memoir that just come out. Fathers, Brothers, and Sons: Surviving Anguish. What is it? Abandonment and Anthrax. I mean, that covers so much.
Wow, that's a hell of a title.
Yeah,
that is.
That's
a great mine title. Was bad. Stick in My Life of Sex, Drums, and Rock and Roll.
This covers so much.
A little more hard. Yours is harder to remember.
Yeah, it's a long one. I just have a look. Shameless promotion right here.
No,
just
have one right here.
I just have it. All right, there you go.
See, I just usually go right here. I just say this with Fathers, Brothers, and Sons. But
that's good, man.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I'll get that.
Oh, please, I'll send you one. Please, no worries. My pleasure.
I'll order it. I'll order it tonight.
Just released it. Yeah, November 2nd came out.
What publisher?
It's Rare Bird Publishing. It's called Rare Bird. Very proud of it, and
awesome.
it's a story about abandonment, pretty much. My dad took off when I was 10.
Wow.
Family of 5. My heroes became musicians.
Yeah,
musicians. That's when I needed a father figure. My guys were bass players, so it became that, and it really took over that hole that I was missing. We all have that somewhere we find a hole. We have a hole, and music fills that, and it is.
Yeah. My
it really
dad
helps.
died. My dad died when I just turned 12, and I got into music right after that. And I was so young. All the guys I played with were 5-6 years older, so they were like my brothers and my fathers
great.
and all that stuff. So I know what you mean.
It kind of helps the outlet. The music becomes the outlet, right, for all that pain, right? Right.
Yeah.
That's what I found.
Yeah.
Music's a good thing to focus on
because
it
Period.
mostly keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah.
Agreed.
For me, I was in gangs in Brooklyn, and the music kept me out of trouble. That all the guys that I was in the gangs with all went up the creek for murder, for this and that. I shied away from it. I started practicing drums, and I noticed when I was practicing on our little porch in Brooklyn, all these little girls from the neighborhood would be out in the front of my porch dancing around and stuff. And I was going, hey, this could be pretty cool. Maybe that's why I was married 5 times.
So, Carmine, when you did that though, with the drumming, were the people from the gangs, were they pulling you back in? How does that work? In those days?
They tried to, and I would just make up excuses like, I can't. I got a gig to do. I'm playing in school, and my first gig I ever did in my life was in the Bronx, at a Bronx block dance. All right, I got paid $7.50. And the band was me on drums, my friend on guitar, and another guy on trumpet. What a combination.
Yeah, that's
we do instrumental versions of like At the Hop, At the Hop, and just push the shout and stuff like that.
I kind of found growing up being a musician that even tough guys or whatever, rough guys sort of wanted you to do well, and you were treated a little different than.
I agree.
Let me ask you guys: did you grow up following like basketball, or football, and baseball?
Not really.
I didn't.
I followed baseball because I'm a Yankee. I grew up in the Bronx. The Yankees were 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah,
so that was the easy thing. Everybody, my friends that I hung out with, they all were Yankee fans. So that happened.
Yeah, I never did that. For me, it was all about music.
Yeah.
And I've been doing interviews this week talking about that. Saying, like now, today, you do records, as we all know, there's really no big money in it anymore. You just do it because you want to create music. And for me, keep the legacy going,
Of course.
Yeah. But there's no,
Absolutely.
I mean, if you break down all the time we spend in the studio versus the money we make, it comes down to about 10 cents an hour.
We're working cheap.
Exactly. And the streaming. So that's what's interesting.
If you count up all the notes that you put out into the universe versus what you're getting paid, you're working cheap.
Yeah, real cheap.
That's what's crazy.
That is a wild way to look at it.
Yeah. So how is it with you guys now? You've seen the record company business, the music business in general now. It's got to be so different for you guys specifically from the great days, of music. I had a taste of that.
You. I mean, Anthrax started in the 80s.
Yeah, 84.
I mean, you saw the big money deals and the merch deals and the publishing deals. Yeah. I mean, let's put it this way. My royalties for Do You Think I'm Sexy were huge until all the streaming started.
Right.
And then I sold it back to Warner Brothers like Bruce Springsteen just did. I sold my catalog to Warner Brothers and to EMI for the rock songs that were making the money because there was no mechanicals anymore. Mechanicals you get when so the audience knows, that's when you get paid when somebody buys a record. Yeah. Since nobody's buying records anymore. And people say, well, it's like YouTube is like the radio. It's not like the radio because someone said the other day, when you're driving in your car, you listen to the radio. You didn't know when you're going to hear the song you really like, right? That's why you listen to the radio. But with YouTube, you pick out the song you like, and you can have it on your phone. It can plug into your system. It could be in your car. It could be everywhere. Why do you have to buy it?
No, and that's also what radio was great at, was introducing new music. Before all the FM stations got programming from Atlanta or someplace. Different regions had different playlists, and so it was a lot more organic in the way the music moved around.
It all depended on each other too. It was all. I mean, you're talking now. You're about the 40th anniversary of Anthrax, right around the time that Snorting Whiskey came out, which is such a, about 40 years ago, right? You're about the 40th anniversary of that song, Pat. It was such a different time where people just lived the music and you watched the radio. You didn't just listen, you watched the radio. Am I right?
That's true.
Because you can imagine, it was because imagination. There's no imagination anymore because everything's given to you, right? You can look at the radio and you can envision the players playing and how they're playing it, all that great stuff. That it's very romantic almost. It's like I just love this stuff.
I listen to radio classics on XM where they play all the shows from the 40s and 50s.
It's great stuff.
Yeah,
they were just produced to be listened to, and it's amazing how they do that. It's very clever. Yeah.
So, like, I get asked this in interviews, probably you do too. How do you find new bands today? And my response is, I used to drive in my car and put the radio on. Today, you think I have time to sit down and search YouTube for new bands?
No, that's a problem.
It's like everything about
radio.
music, you got to do it. Here's your social media. You got to put your stuff up, for social media. It doesn't do any good anyway,
No.
But,
I mean, formulaically,
putting it on us, where we made the music. Your record company's supposed to promote the stuff, not me. We go out and promote.
If I was going to say, formulaically, it's almost impossible to get new music out. I mean, if you think about it, it's the formula. There's no formula there. There really isn't. Before you had it, but there is none. How do you possibly do it?
New bands that make it, they made it over a period of years. They're not like 20 years old anymore. They're like more like 30.
Because they've had to make their way, and they make it to 30 and finally they're breaking through.
Making this social media and YouTube getting views and more views.
The only, you got to have clickbait video, some kind of outrageous thing or something to get above all the noise.
What about TikTok?
I have a 15-year-old boy. He's upstairs on TikTok every day. That's how his friends connect. He gets all his music. They get the music from TikTok. Believe it or not. Wow. That's how they do it. It's crazy.
TikTok, man. Instagram. That's it.
And Instagram.
When I put on their TikTok, all I see is chicks with big boobs and fat asses dancing for 15 seconds.
And some of them aren't chicks. That's the weird thing.
It's anything goes. Anything goes. It's like it's obscure. It's not about the music though. It's about the shock value, right? Shock value, and then maybe there's some kind of rhythm going there. And I sound like the old fogey here, but the truth of the matter is, I love music. I want to be creative, and I want to hear creation. And there's a lot of
I know my kids who are in their 20s, but they find new music all the time. And
somehow,
but they find
me and
they seek and find. Well, that's the difference.
Yeah,
I don't know. Who knows? It's just they've got their remote speaker and their Bluetooth speaker and their phone, and it's just, I'm going, who's that? It's like all this great material. It's amazing.
Well, Pat, having kids that age, I'm curious. I don't know very much about your family. Are your kids into music? Are they playing? I mean, what does Pat Travers' son do? You know what I'm saying?
Good question.
Elijah, we're going to take him into the studio here just after Christmas. He's 25. He plays guitar and keyboards, sings so good, and writes. So he's got his own tunes, and he's been doing that for a while. So, but now he's got a couple good ones, and I think he could get some kind of promotion from somebody. And then our daughter, Amanda, she's like a soul singer. It's amazing because when I was 13, 14, 15, I loved soul bands. That was right around the height of 66, 67, 68. I just love that music, and she does too. So we're thinking of finding a couple of tunes that she can sing because she's amazing. Yeah, it's awesome to see my kids.
That's fun.
Now I notice you have the wolf man in the back and the mummy, the creature from the Black Lagoon. Is that it?
What's back there?
So are you into horror movies? And
I am. I like specifically the Universal era. I like
He's
that.
in Anthrax. You kidding me?
There's a lot of horror in my life. My son's my wife, they're very into horror, all horror. But
my daughter does that stuff. She does the special effects makeup.
Does she?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's doing 2 seasons of Star Trek right now.
Oh, good.
wow.
Well, congratulations.
The
Very
new
cool.
one. Yeah, and my son, he's in medical. He's doing great. But I noticed the pictures back there. I know especially the Creature of the Black Lagoon, that one.
Of course. And
And,
Wolfman.
I'm looking at it from a distance.
Yeah.
But I see by the pose. At first, I thought it was something else, but that's definitely the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I get to the right of that. I have Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. And,
Oh yeah, that's
of course.
That's the funniest movie. That one. And the Wolfman.
Underrated.
We're all showing our age. Half our audience don't know what we're talking about.
There's that one great scene where Costello, Lou, right? He's Lon Chaney Jr. is trying to tell him, look, you don't understand. Tonight, when the moon is full, I'll turn into a wolf. And Lou Costello goes, yeah, you and a million other guys.
That is so Lou.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
right.
funny.
Quick. There's some quick lines, man. Really fast.
Yeah.
You know, it was
You know
tragic.
what's funny? I'm sorry, Ron.
Yeah.
We were watching Little Rascals.
Oh.
Now you remember Little Rascal when Spanky was like this big, you know?
Yeah.
But it was in color.
No.
It was in color. It's on Netflix. It's all in color, and all the talking, everything is so slow. You know? They'd say something, and then there'd be like a 3-second reaction.
Yeah, before
and then there's a reaction. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
They were done in the 20s.
It was great.
Yeah.
That's fun stuff, man.
That's
I love
fun.
that. Spanky, all those. Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Farina.
You know, my theaters.
Farina's
My theaters
hairstyles
are
look
open.
like styles today.
My theaters were open in 1925, both of them. You know, and we've been obviously renovating stuff and really hitting that historic aspect about it. We're showing all the Charlie Chaplin stuff, all the Argane comedies. It's really something. And the
You're showing them? You mean like a movie theater?
We're showing them. Yeah, absolutely. We're doing last night. We're doing every Tuesday silent film night, and people are like laughing, like belly laughing at these silent films. It's
truly funny because it's truly funny. I hope these generations that are coming up now, I don't want to lose what we had because it's important. It's important to laugh like that. It was rich. It was real. It was honest. So I hope that's not lost forever. Stuff like that and the Charlie Chaplin stuff, that's just classic stuff that it'll never be done again. Think about it.
Well, you know, some of that is also considered art. So it'll always
I hope so.
around.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I find interesting when I watch those things? Obviously, do I watch Charlie? Do I watch Buster Keaton? Do I watch Harold Lloyd? Do I watch absolutely? Yeah. But I really, take notice. And if you think about it, the lighting. We all know about production and the lighting aspect and the prop aspect and the set design aspect. Think about 100 years ago how they would do that. One camera shots, the whole film with one camera.
They needed a lot of light, and they had to wear like orange makeup or something to counteract the brightness.
I was just down in Carmine. You should really check this out at Fort Myers. I know you're down in Florida. I was just down at Edison's house down there in Fort Myers.
Wow.
And down there they got a replica of the first movie studio. It was called the Black Maria, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Wow. And what it was his room, but
Black
on a pivot.
Mariah.
Mariah.
Yeah.
And it was on a pivot thing. So because they had the lighting at the time, he didn't invent it yet. I mean, he was working on that. And so he had it was this big black room. Yeah. And it had holes in the ceiling, in the roof, and they would pivot the whole building to get the sun, to maximize the sunlight.
So they had it on like a wheel? It had like
this whole, it turned. It completely turned the whole building.
There's another thing on Netflix of movies, right? And Warner Brothers, you know how they started? They had those viewers, like you look in, and the pages that used to go quick.
Right.
And you roll it.
Yeah.
They'd have these like storefronts that were just like rows of these viewers, and you put 5 cents in.
But they call them flicker machines, right?
You're doing, and it was first Warner Brothers.
Yeah, it was the Nickelodeon.
Right?
Fatty Arbuckle. I don't know if you remember Fatty Arbuckle.
Yeah.
Was a big star of those things.
Yeah.
How the hell old are we? Holy crap! I got Pat Travers, Carmine Apiece, Frankie Bello, and I'm bringing up Fatty Arbuckle stories. You kidding me?
Nobody would think this, but I love this stuff. So believe me, I love film. I love how it's created, how it's originated. It's awesome. I love that stuff.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
You know, Frankie,
I told Leslie today. I mean, when we lived in New York before, and LA, before COVID, man, I used to go to movies all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I went to the movies once in the last 2 years. You know, I was always in the
movies in years.
You know, 07, all these movies. Now there's movies coming out of it.
Well, a lot of it's coming because of COVID now, because it's mostly on TV. A lot of them are coming to the cable channels now. But I brought my son 2 weeks ago, masked up and all that stuff, because I'm afraid of all this stuff. But I brought him just to get out of the house with him, just to have a day out with my son. I thought it was important, just make him feel like it's okay. And we just had a great night. And it was just me and him. Not a lot of people in the theater. You know, they have these big seats now. I don't know if you've been to a movie theater lately. They have these big ass seats. These big ass seats, you pay like $15 each, and
that's what they had down here too.
Yeah, and you put it's a lounge chair. You just lay back, and it's all good. You just hang out, and you have your popcorn.
The last movie we saw in New York was Aretha with Jennifer Hudson.
Oh yeah,
great.
And they had those seats, and it was the theater we're on Broadway at 70th, so it's right there. The Lowe's, whatever it's called, AMC. It used to be the Lowe's.
That girl's got a voice. That girl's got a serious voice. That's a belter right there.
You know, she never won that contest. But she's had such an amazing career. What a voice.
Think about it. The judges know nothing. That's all that means. The judges know nothing, period. So she was the best. Awesome.
I think I don't even know who won. I don't even think they did good.
No, that's right. How do you not win? I mean, what the heck? On her worst day, she blows her away. She had a cold, 104 fever.
How about that scene in Dreamgirls where she's by herself, and everybody see that movie?
I saw
where she's crying and she's singing, and it's like, man.
She's the real deal. She's got more to go. That girl. She's awesome.
She's the real deal.
I believe that too. I think she's yet to hit this massive thing.
She hasn't hit the right movie, the right time for her. So. It'll happen, but it's going to be huge.
It's always movies, you know. It's not going to be hit records.
No, what is that?
What is that? It's a drum beat with some talking on it.
Well, I know we sound like old farts here, but you know what? I just love music, so I'll listen to anything. But I just want to be a little more creative than the machines are taking over. I just want to get back to the real deal of playing. I think that's important.
Yeah. You know, Frankie, I got to, and I hope I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. I like that now. Now it's Frankie. Hey, yo, Frankie.
Oh, Frankie.
That's what my friends call me. That's all good. Thank you, Ron. Frankie's
a neighborhood guy, man. Come on. You can tell he's a neighborhood guy.
My brother's name is Frank. We never say Frankie. Yeah.
Maybe he's a neighborhood guy. I don't know.
His son was Little Frank, and you got Big Frank.
On my birth certificate's Francis, by the way.
Oh, God bless you. He's a real Italian.
That's all.
Amen, bro.
I do want to touch a little bit. I hope it's not a little awkward, but it is in the book. You know, your brother.
Go for it. I'm all open. I'm all open to this, so I'm good.
You know, it's a very serious thing, and it's a direction your book goes a little bit, and I think it's kind of an not as big of a story in rock and roll as it should be. People should be aware of it because it's your brother was murdered, and you went out to avenge your brother. And I thought it was really cool, the perspective about, you know, like we all would do, because especially being the Italian thing, we go out there with a baseball bat, kind of, I don't want to, you know, oh my gosh, you touched my family. And so how terrible that was, but how strong you had to be to actually ultimately pull back a little bit.
Yeah. So
okay. I didn't read the book, so what happened?
So I'll tell you guys a story. Pat, I want you to know it too, also, so you can understand. March 25th, 1996, my brother Anthony went to a coffee shop to meet a friend. I came outside who he had a problem with a year ago. Long story short, the guy, he set him up. It was set up.
Wow.
Took out a gun, 3 bullets, boom, done.
Why?
Right?
Why?
That's the question of life, right? They had issues. There was a lot of people around. As you know, there's a coffee shop in the Bronx. It's really a lot of people hanging out. Nobody saw anything. It's one of those. It looks like I equate it to it's like a Scorsese film, right? It's like a Scorsese film. Everybody sees everything, but nobody saw anything, right?
Yeah.
It was one of those. So, bottom line is, the only thing I can remember, and I don't want to bring people down here. The only thing I remember, and I say this in the book, is my mom standing alone, looking at my brother under the sheet, right? And it was horrible. It's just a horrible thing. I don't wish on anybody. So, and the reason why I knew it was my brother is because the sheet didn't cover his sneakers that he just got the week before that I knew. And and I still have that.
You'll never get that out of your head.
It'll never go.
Get that out.
So I only say that the sneaker thing and what made me snap about the sneaker thing. Now when I say snap, guys, I'm serious. I saw blood on his new sneakers.
Yeah.
And I saw literal red, but my God, I just blacked out after that. So just so you guys understand where I was going with this. For the next 2 weeks, there were no answers. They said they had a witness, but they didn't have a witness. I went dark. Anthrax didn't matter. Family didn't matter. All that mattered to me was revenge. To be really honest, just revenge. And I didn't give a shit about music. Anything, nothing mattered, honestly. And I went deep, man. So I say it was 10:30 at night, every night. I got suited up, dark, right? I just hunted around the same vicinity it happened.
Yeah.
And I never touched a gun in my life. Never. I hate guns. I'm not into it because what they did to my brother, so that's why I hate them. So I talked to the wrong people. I had the wrong things in my hand, all of the above.
Yeah.
I stalked and I just waited outside and I just waited. And I waited for 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks in. So the second week, around the end of the second week, I'm looking at this thing in my hand. I'm saying, how did I get here? How did I get here? I'm in this band. I'm successful. Thank God. I got a great family, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking of my mother and I'm saying, look, if I do this, if that dude comes out of here and I do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it.
And you got a gun?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I didn't want to. It was just another guy. So long story short, all I thought is, if I do this, what happens to my mother? What happens?
Yeah.
She loses another son because either I'm going to go to jail or more than likely I'll be dead for retribution. You know how that works, eye for an eye stuff, right? So it kind of pulled me out. Then I said, wait, I'm an idiot. What am I doing? My family's going to lose me. And then this anthrax thing goes away too. So everything goes away.
Yeah.
And what are we going to, and what, for what then?
And it doesn't solve anything.
It doesn't solve.
No.
And my brother who passed, he would have smacked the shit out of me right off the bat. He said, are you out of your mind? Get back home. He would have just said it straight off.
Right.
So thank God I had some clarity, but that was a very real thing. And I never had that.
I can see that, definitely. Being blinded by that and
by anguish.
How old was your brother?
23.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 23. He's young. I mean, he was a baby. So, and he was you would have loved him. You guys would have loved him.
Yeah.
He would have been hanging out with us. I know you would have. He's one of us.
First of all, we wouldn't have called him Anthony. We'd call him Anthony.
God rest his soul, man. That's awesome. I mean,
so that was the story. So, and then we went through the Bronx criminal court system, and I equated in the book to like a Scorsese movie, because you had the bad guys with these wannabe guys, the wannabes on this side, and then you had my family and friends on this side, and they put us all together in the same elevator. It was insane.
Oh, wow.
Very volatile.
Hey, you never know. If somebody, the right person reads that book, maybe they'll make a movie out of it.
Well, it's let me tell you something. It was very real and very ugly, and I don't wish it on anybody. So there you go.
It's
just terrible.
God rest his soul. It will always be in our prayers, and your family, Frankie. Really, I mean, that stuff just doesn't go away. So, but I just wanted to touch on it. That was a story that I feel that like you, because you put in your memoir, that people need to understand about you and about the world, unfortunately. So
thank you.
Thanks for sharing with us.
And I have to say this. I'm sorry, just to get out of that. After that, I just dove into therapy, and that brought me to a better place. Just so you guys know. So
I think a lot of people will be interested in that story and your emotional state. and how you were able to turn yourself around. You know, that's a good story. Yeah.
I'll send you guys the book. I'll send you guys the book if you want.
Love it. Absolutely. We already have people on our chats or comments. There's already been 3 books ordered. I just want you to know.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you.
People, it's a great book. It's not solely about that, of course. It's about your rock and roll road
this
show.
Great rock and roll story. Yeah, this great rock and roll story, as we all have on this viewing thing. But and
I'm waiting for the Pat Travers story. You know, Pat, next year it's 40 years that we did that tour with Ted Nugent and you.
Oh wow, yeah.
40 years.
I think it's this year.
Question.
Wasn't it 81?
82.
It's 82.
Yeah.
Wow.
How was that? Was that like a circus going through town? How was that backstage? I have to know. Yeah.
Ted was awesome. Ted was like.
When
I went with Ted, we had Ted on the show here a couple of times.
Many times.
And you know what? We couldn't get a word in. I love Ted. He's like a brother. But when I joined him after Rod Stewart, the way I joined him, I was telling this story recently. We did the American Music Awards with Rod Stewart. I forgot what song we were playing. Maybe Young Turks. A lot of keyboards. So Ted came up and said, "Hey, look, when you're done playing this wimpy ass rock and roll, you want to play a man's rock and roll, give me a call." So when I was out of Rod, I called Ted and I immediately went up to his house and we practiced, and he had this giant hill, right? That he would just take out his guns, and he had some machine guns and
that's crazy. It's an arsenal.
And we'd be like just shooting into the hill at targets. And, it was ridiculous. That hill was so much lead in that hill. But he was awesome, man. We were driving the cars. We didn't have buses. We drove in 2 cars. Me and Ted in 1 car, and Eric St. Holmes, the bass player, and the tour manager in the other car. And Ted was a maniac, man. He was he would drive up to the other car, right to the back, and just tap him at 70 miles an hour. Yeah. And we were all laughing. He never smoked any pot, never did any drugs, never.
Amazing.
I heard he drank a little bit, but he's been amazing. What a great guy, First guy I called. Huh?
That's another book right there. I'm just putting it out there.
Well, yeah.
I'm doing
a comic book, but still a book.
My next book is called Guitar Zeus, the book, about all these crazy guitar players I played with,
That'd be good.
They're all pretty crazy.
You talk about crazy guitar players and stuff.
He's one of the only sane guys that plays guitar that I know. He's one of the only ones. Well,
Pat, like I opened up the show today. One of the things I love about Pat, you guys know, you've done so many collaborations, worked with so many people, and the questions come up. It's either the question is who was your favorite person to collaborate with, or what was the collaboration that you were in your head that, man, I've got this collaboration with frickin' Zeppelin, but it never happened. That kind of a thing. Anything like that?
It's me.
Yeah, Frank. I gotta play with Frank.
What's number 2?
It's true, I do. Frank, do you have a Florida connection somehow?
I didn't know my father, so he must have had kids out there and stuff.
I just for some reason I thought someone in your band.
Then maybe. Uh-oh. Oh, did it freeze just now?
Pat froze. That happens on this show sometimes. Yeah,
well, it's
Hey, Ron, we should play that track from Pat's new album.
Let's do that. Let's do that. So we'll get him back on here.
While he gets his internet back.
Talk about it. Okay, let's play it, Ben.
Because he played me this album at my party. I had my 75th birthday party 2 weeks ago, and Pat came to it, and he played me the album. We both had the computers out. We're playing each other's albums.
Is this a track or is it a video?
Where every last thing goes wrong. Try to relive the past.
And that's his wife. I
think
that's his wife and daughter singing on that.
Oh, really?
That's I wanted to ask him
sounded great.
that.
Sounded killer.
Ass kicking, man. Really good.
Listen to that guitar sound, man. That guitar sound right off the bat. That's just there, man. Right?
Yeah,
it's just.
I know. That's like the stuff that when I play with Pat, it was so cool.
It's just
come up with some good stuff.
Yeah.
With my drum sound and his guitar sound and the vocals, we shared vocals. We wrote a song called "It Looks Better from a Distance." And it's all about,
I love that one.
I wrote all the lyrics. And it was all about like, a girl, looking at me, and I'm telling her, hey, look, I look better from a distance. You don't want to get close to me because I'm crazy. That's the concept of the song. It was a killer song. And then we did a second album, the song called "Disappeared." It was awesome song.
So, Carmine, how did that work when you guys wrote together? Just bounce. I was asking that before. So you just in a room together and you just bounce things off of each other?
Yeah, we had this guy Greg Hampton who was like a producer with us.
Oh, so he was working the
guitar player. He was a guitar player and a songwriter. So between the three of us, we just got in the room, and Pat's calling me. Hi, Pat.
His phone service went out now.
He's having a computer issue. We just played your song.
It sounded great.
Sounds great, man. Now that's your wife, right? That's your wife and daughter. All Monica. That's all Monica on the background. It's all Monica, his wife, singing in the background.
Awesome.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
You put him on speaker for the rest of the interview. That's what we'll do it like that.
All right. See if you can get back up. All right. Okay, bro. Love you, man. Bye-bye. Yeah. So this guy, me and Pat and this guy would, we'd kick around ideas. We'd get grooves and riffs together. I had a song called "Stand Up." It was, had a bar 9/8 in the middle, 9/4 in the middle, and it was funky. It was like it's sort of like a Sly and the Family Stone. You got to stand up and check it out, and then you got, that kind of thing. With Pat's guitar, and then we went into the solo. It was just great. I got a killer drum sound on that thing.
Yeah.
And we had this young bass player named Uriah. I forgot his last name. Uriah Duffy was his name. This guy, a kid from LA. He was just a monster. Awesome. And in that song, he did some cool bass, and I did the vocal on that one. And I said Uriah, after he did that bass thing.
That's cool.
But it was just a lot of fun. Really easy, Pat. Originally, I did an album with Derringer. It was Derringer, Bogut, and a piece with Tim Bogut. Wow. All right. And then Tim didn't want to do it anymore. And Derringer was Christian, and he was putting all the Christian lyrics into this rock album. Oh. SPV didn't like that. So Greg Hampton, the producer guy, had the deal. He said, can we do it with somebody else? So I said to Greg, who do you think would do it? And he said, let's call Pat Travers. So we just called Pat out of the blue, and so we want to do this record for SPV. And he said, yeah. So we ended up doing 2 records, a live DVD. We toured.
Wow.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was so much fun.
So you could just walk into stuff like that. Like the calls, you could just give somebody a call. That's what's great. You pivot.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what like my Guitar Zeus album. I got tomorrow my 25th anniversary of my Guitar Zeus record comes out. I got 39 tracks on there. I got every guitar player except Page, Beck, and Clapton. And I don't have Bonamassa, he wasn't really around yet, but everybody, Brian May, Slash, Yngwie Malmsteen, Richie Sambora, Zach Wilde, Dweezil Zappa, Jennifer Batten, Steve Moss. I mean, it just goes on and on. Ty Tabor, Ted Nugent, Neil Sean, everybody.
So is it coming out, Kern?
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow. Box set.
Deco
Records.
Okay.
Yeah, Deco Records. It's got four LPs, 3 CDs, a booklet, and then you can get a bundle that has all that plus a Carmine Face logo medallion, and a Guitar Zeus pick, a signed autograph picture, and a T-shirt. That's the bundle.
You give merchandise away. I like this.
I didn't do it. This Deco Records. They're really
smart.
So how can we get that, Carmen? Where can people go? They're already asking.
They can get it on my website, carmineapiece.com. You can get it probably on Amazon. and decoentertainment.com, DEKO entertainment.com, and in stores that sell records. If they don't have it, they can order it. But they're doing a good job promoting it. But anyway,
that's great.
The way that came out, I was playing with Jeff Watson, Bob Daisley, and Joe Lynn Turner. We had a band in the early '90s when grunge was king, and we were like dinosaurs. You probably remember some of that. And we couldn't, you couldn't get arrested. So Jeff Watson just gets a solo album. Well, it's Pat again. Hold on. Yeah, Pat. We can't get back on. All right.
Oh,
we only got a couple minutes left. We'll bring him back though.
Well, no problem. Oh, that's why. That's why. You gotta, yeah.
Isn't this funny?
I
love this. You don't get this every day. This is awesome.
Frankie, I'm going to give you Pat's number and email, but I got to get your number and email so I can give you Pat's number and email.
Absolutely. I'll say. We'll get it all done after that. Right after we get off, we'll do this stuff.
Yeah,
where are you now, Frank?
What?
Where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm in my basement in New York.
I know it's in Bello's basement, but what?
I'm in Bello's basement. It's exactly where I am.
Hey, Pat says happy holidays to everybody.
I'm in a town called Eastchester.
Okay, Pat, I'll call you later. I love you.
Oh, right outside of New York.
Yeah, right. It's about half an hour from.
So anyway, so Jeff Watson gets a solo deal right out of Night Ranger on guitar, right? So I've been trying to get a second solo album deal for 10 years. I said, damn, man, you're freaking guitar players. You come out of a band, get a solo deal like that. I said, what do I got to do? A guitar album to get a solo deal? I'll call it Guitar Gods, and I'll get all my friends to play on it. And we were screwing around with the name Zeus. I said, no, I'll call it Guitar Zeus, right? And we all laughed, and we went up to Jeff's studio and recorded. And then we went to bed that night, and I thought, that's a freaking good idea. If I can get that together, I can do drum magazines, guitar magazines, rock magazines, rock radio. What a great idea. Yeah. How do I do this, It took me two years to find a manager to get me a big deal out of Japan, right? In the interim, I ran into Brian May, Ted Nugent, and the guys from King's X, and I asked them, if I did this album, would you play on it? Great. I ran into, I did a tour of Japan with Kelly Keeling, who was in Blue Murder, and Tony Franklin, who I loved.
Of course.
And I said to Kelly, you write songs? Yeah, let me hear your songs. His songs were killer songs, great songwriter. So I got together with him, and we wrote these songs, and he got the deal from Japan. The first guy on was Brian May. Second guy on was Ted Nugent. Third guy on was the two guys from King's X, Doug and Ty. Right?
Sure.
And then Kelly went to work with Ingve, and Ingve says, I want to come on. You got Doug Pinnick? I want to be on the track with Doug. Wow. Okay, we got him. And then Slash heard about it, and before you know it, I almost didn't have to call anybody. People started calling us because we had all these great things going on.
These are good. Wow. Between Frankie's book and your bundle, I mean, get a shopping cart and get ready for Christmas, guys.
It's Christmas time, baby.
Christmas time. When did your book come out?
I gotta think, Frank. We hope. I mean, we think there's like an upside to everything, kind of. And you open the show a little bit about kind of how your mom, who was a single mom, raised you, and your dad kind of left you early. And I got to think that probably had affected you in a positive way, in a sense that you're probably the greatest dad out there. Did they have that kind of effect on you?
I'm definitely one of them, because that's life to me. And obviously we're from the Italian thing. So
you have one kid?
I have one kid. Yeah.
Don't spoil it too much.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. I go old school dad on sometimes. I just watch. He knows I have a look. When it's enough is enough, I have the look. So the discipline is good. So he's a good kid.
It's great when they grow up and they start doing their own thing and they're successful in what they're doing. Yeah. It makes you feel like you did a good job.
And that's all you want. That's really all you want. So that's most important. So, and hopefully things work out, and and hopefully one day we'll be able to tour.
Yeah, we were a bit different. Our family, we had 6 people in a 1 bedroom.
Wow.
So it was like it wasn't. Shut up, Siri, you idiot. I hate that.
You should talk to your assistant that way.
I'm not talking to you.
I didn't know who you were talking to just now. I was like, oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah. So anyway,
piss him off, huh?
We had a 1-bedroom. Like me and my older brother slept in the double bed my parents used to have. My sister was in a fold-out bed, and Vinny was in a crib in the living room. My parents slept on a fold-out couch. And it was unbelievable. I think about that. Now we live in a sprawling house. Me and my wife and the dog. And we got 4 bedrooms. We got acres of land, and I knock on wood.
What part of Florida? What part of Florida?
We're outside West Palm.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We got a canal and a lake. Ron's going to come visit one day. We're going to go down to buy some pasta for 11
Gotta get away
bucks
from the
a pound.
Chi-town snow.
Yeah, $11 a pound.
Listen, you guys, hey, I'm telling you, we are gonna do the freaking Belmont Avenue stroll all the way down there. It's gonna be amazing.
Give me a call. I'm ready when you guys are.
We'll get Bruce to book me and Pat a gig so we can come up there.
That'd be great.
And then we'll go. Ron, you come in, and we'll go to Belmont, wherever it is.
Oh man,
I never even heard of it.
Oh
my gosh!
I heard of the feast in Manhattan. St. Janelle.
No, man, this is the real deal. So, talking about real deals, Frankie Bello, thank you very much. It was great spending the hour with you.
Thank you so much. Carmine, thank you so much. I love this.
Change numbers, man, and we'll. I know we had so much in common. I mean, I met you before, but
I know, but let's do that whole thing. I promise. Right after this email, I'm going to send my info to this email. Is that cool, Ron?
Okay, cool.
For Carmine too.
Yeah, I get that. I'm on that email too.
All right, cool, guys. Thank you for having me. Thank you for supporting the book. I love you. Thank you so much. Man. Please be safe.
Good luck with the book.
Thank you very much. Good luck with the record.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
everybody.
Brother.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you and to everyone out there. Artists on Lockdown, Hanging and Banging. I'm Ron Onesti with my big brother, Carmine Apiece. We're missing you, Vinny. He's on the road. We hope you guys join us every week. Don't forget, the next couple of weeks, we'll have some great reruns, some of our greatest shows we've had over the past 72 episodes. But we do return January the 8th with Bobby Rydell, rock and roll legend. Want to say hi to the guy that made this all happen from the beginning with Carmine. That's right, Steve Love. Hope you're having a good time out there, wherever you're at, probably Japan or in New York or wherever he is today, tomorrow. But we love you, brother, and thanks for making this whole thing happen. Gwen, everybody, Gwen, everybody puts us together every week. It's been really, really something. And I just, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank you all who've been supporting us, all the people on the chats, been with us each week here on Artists on Lockdown, Hanging and Banging. Wish you guys a very healthy and safe holiday season. Keep rocking, keep listening, keep watching. We'll see you back here live on January the 8th. Otherwise, see you on Hanging and Banging, Artists on Lockdown every Thursday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, and 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Have a great holiday season, guys. Love you.